Question 1511. What were weird myths you thought about sex as a kid?
Huh?
Oh boy.
I'm sure there shouldn't be a "were" in there. It's like, what weird myths did you think about sex as a kid? Now, this is before you had any clue about it.
I thought it involved peeing in somebody.
You thought it involved being in someone. Do you know what? I think there might have been a point I thought that as well.
I thought, well, this is what I was told, that the longer you leave your virginity, the worse it would become. So you've got to lose your virginity as early as possible to avoid incredible pain.
Wait. Did you have to get married? Were you taught purity as well?
Well, yeah, we're taught. Yeah, but then...
So you literally had to get married as early as possible as well?
The people who were saying these things weren't concerned about marriage. They were concerned about just losing it altogether, married or not married.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's... anything to do with virginity is broken. Jenny.
Fuck. I don't want to answer this one.
Why was it's a myth that you believe that was that terrible?
No, as a transgender woman, it was part of my having this debate has been part of my life since the earliest memories I have, and I'd really rather not go into them.
No, I can understand that quite a bit. It's one of those. Oh, we're just losing everybody randomly. Jeff? No. Never Again says, no myths here. There were too many explicit materials in my dad's house. I knew about sex, but what it meant to come to maturity was left out. That was a shock. It was the 60s. Okay. Ox, the playing with it would make you go blind. See, I don't know whether or not that was ever told to me seriously. Or whether or not I just assumed they were taking the piss. Yandiri says, I thought people stuck together like dogs. Like dogs? Dogs stick together?
They can, yes.
Oh, you mean like with having do they call it? I forgot what they call it. Nope, it's gone. The word's gone. I've lost track. Lone Wanderer says participation in orgies is optional but encouraged. Oh, that was for a manifesto question. Boomer U says doesn't make you blind but may cross your eyes. Tusk says I use my virginity to fix a puncture on my BMX. I'm intrigued. Richard says a dog knot. In answer to the previous question. Oh, what's going on there? Right, Turtle moves. Virginity, my dear, is a curious thing. Once you've lost it, you can still use the box it was kept in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Crafty says, you've lost half your panel. They've fallen into a black hole. Apparently so. And I don't know. Oh, let me nab someone else. Bing. You want to come on, Crafty?
Y'all do realize that virginity is a bullshit concept. It doesn't exist.
Yes. In
terms of a woman in hymens and things like that.
Yeah,
yes?
I like
All right.
description that the virginity in a woman is the fact that no, it's gone. I hate myself. A copulatory tie. Harmonica Man says we weren't allowed to talk about it in my house. Yeah, but you must. But you must have then thought that there was something about it. I'm surprised no one mentioned a stork. Tusk says, weight, not virginity, pocket money.
When I was a kid and I first heard that stork bullshit, I started to look around for storks in the sky, and I never saw one, so I knew that the cartoons were lying to me.
Well, there were more babies around than storks.
Yeah, way more.
Okay, I have been listening in. Sorry, I was away. I did be back.
I didn't see it.
As a young kid, mummies have girls, daddies have boys.
I'd heard that one.
I believe that for a little. I actually believed that one for a little while.
That's quite a bad one. Oh.
Wait, so like dads gave birth to boys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was young.
No, I've never heard that.
Very crafty.
Hello.
Hello, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm taking Mama's spot until she comes back and then kicks me out. It's cool. Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Crafty.
And now she's going to be, Amanda's going to be mad because I'm in the thing and she's not, and she missed the chance to talk to me. Anyway, what are we doing?
What weird myths did you think about sex as a kid?
I didn't really think about it. I was a kid. I had more serious. No, I had more serious issues.
Where did babies come from? I
didn't really care. I don't remember caring at all. I genuinely don't.
You don't.
I suppose one of the weirdest ones was probably, I think the only one I can think of is that you could get pregnant from kissing. But that's when I was like 5.
That took mine.
Depends on who and where.
Yeah. Ginny, what's your answer?
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. I thought that, kissing was a part of sex. I mean, it is, but that it was like an actual thing that you can get pregnant of.
Did no one have the toilet seat one then?
No.
Not right?
Oh, no. Yeah, I heard that one when I was a kid. You can get pregnant from sitting on the toilet seat.
Yep.
I didn't hear that until I was like 17, and I was like, what the fuck? People believe that?
I was going to say, your friend got pregnant.
Or on someone's lap if they don't have a magazine between you.
Okay. We used to be told not to let a boy touch you. If a boy touches you, you get pregnant. So I used to think it was just literally touching, the actual touching your phone. That's it.
Oh my god, that would leave me terrified. Chris said, the first time I had sex, I was sure I got HIV. Really weird thing, that the fear they put into you. Tusk says, I went to a Catholic school, so I knew a lot about sex, and almost all of it completely wrong.
Yes, agreed. I went to state school in Ireland, which is basically Catholic school.
So considering I was raised in Africa, and I went to an all-girls boarding school, and to think that being gay is something that people frown upon. It was rampant in school. Everyone.
Here's something for you.
That's where I found out about what being a lesbian was. I mean, I was so tender. I was 11, 12. Found out that people were doing this thing. So what do you?
Well, for us, when I was growing up, it kind of relates to that. We genuinely believed at one point that an all-girls school was full of lesbians and an all-boys school were for gay boys. Honest to God, we thought that at one stage. We thought that, and yeah, I didn't mind it. Like, I wouldn't have minded going to an all-girls school. I'm bisexual, so I wouldn't have minded it.
I don't even remember being aware of my mom's pregnancy with my younger brother. I was 5 years old at the time when he was born, and I have no recollection of it whatsoever. I don't think I know. I have a memory of my brother John for at least another year or two after that.
Tusk wants to ask Esther, were the boys taught that touching causes pregnancy too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the boys, they would have been taught something completely different.
Yeah.
But the girls, you were taught, no, you mustn't. Yeah, I think that they would just.
So you should lose your virginity as soon as possible, but don't touch a boy.
No, it's the older people who say don't make sure a boy doesn't touch you or you get pregnant.
Yeah.
And then it's the cliques, the little girls when they're talking.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to lose. I've heard that we should lose our virginities when we are really young, so that we don't get all this pain after.
Pain.
I was going to say it's cringeworthy. Nerdy says one of the biggest myths I had was that I'd have sex at some point in my life. Ox says baby.
I know what you feel. I know the feeling, Nerdy.
Ox says babies come from the Cabbage Patch. Jeez. Tobin says hairy palms if you played with yourself. Tusk says I learned how to summon the devil before I knew anything about sex. Julie says you asked myths we believed. I said myths you thought about. Well, you thought. Ox says there used to be a myth that you could get pregnant from sitting in a hot tub. Then they proved it could happen, so not a myth anymore. Richard says toilet seat, swimming pool, oral. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? I believe there is one person that got pregnant from oral that we can certify.
Well, I can actually say, Tory MPs are living proof that you can get them pregnant from anal.
No comment.
Judy says I didn't believe any myths, but I didn't precisely know how it was done precisely until I was about 8. I'm not convinced I knew at 8. Lone Wanderer says I was told that a man would see me as damaged goods for being abused. That's a shitty thing.
Yeah, a lot of us think that.
Thought that.
No, there's still people that think that.
Yeah, that's depressing. It came up in the tweet today where someone was saying that we look down on sex workers more than we look down on men that commit rape or sexual assault. And I said we look down on the victims of rape and sexual assault more than the men that perpetrate them as a society.
Both true, and it's fucking
horrible.
It's horrible. It's a sad state of affairs. It needs to change.
There is a very serious attitude problem there. Rainbird says if you hold hands and fall in love, you can't kiss or it will make a baby. Okay. Richard says I was very ignorant until about 13, but very excited about the total concept.
I like that last one actually. It kind of includes a type of foreplay before the deed.
But I want to know what happens if you hold hands and kiss and you're not in love. Is that birth control? Tusk says you looked into a mirror in the dark and said the Lord's Prayer backwards. We got kicked out of school if we were caught doing it. I assume you're talking about summoning the devil, not sex in the bathroom. Animal science.
Can I read you someone's tweet that I saw the other day? They said, "Condoms are for small boys. Real men are protected by God."
Fuck.
Oh God Almighty!
I mean, you might be praying afterwards.
That's their sex ed class. There you go.
That's yeah.
That's the disaster waiting to happen.
Animal science. Do you think these myths still happen? Yes.
Yes.
We are all too old and didn't have the internet when we were kids to find out the answer. The problem is an awful lot of kids don't get the internet in terms of actually being able to explore things.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, there's good. If you bring up the internet, here's a good little myth that I think a lot of people that they're not familiar with sex. They watch pornography and think that's what sex is actually like.
That's probably a very modern day myth.
It's not.
Yeah, maybe for you.
I'm really disappointed.
Jaded Atheist says, "I was
Imagine
told
like the
you."
productive, like.
Go on.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Jaded Atheist says, "I was told you give part of yourself you can never get back. You are tied to anyone you have sex with, even your abusers, so your abuser is now part of you." That sounds like a horrible thing to say to people.
Wait, didn't the Bible say that?
I think it does. Never again. Yes, frankly, it sucks. It's exactly why I never told anyone. Skip back.
Right. Okay. Quick joke, Dave. A beer bottle says, "You break me, you get 1 year of bad luck." The mirror turns around and says, "You kidding me? You break me, you get 7 years of bad luck." Condom just walks off laughing.
Jesus.
Nice.
I like that joke.
Oh, Jesus.
Tusk says, "The devil? No, that's how I have sex. I go through about 5 mirrors a week." Right. Right. Did anyone not answer yet?
You?
I've answered.
You've answered.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't given a thing, but I've said lots of these that I knew about at the time. I can't think of anything else. No. Didn't really. I can't. The problem is I can't remember. The point at which I can't remember a time before I didn't know about sex. So it's.
The less said about that, the better.
That's more of a memory problem than I had sex too young.
Sure. Say no.
Ox says, "So the saran wrap will work in a pitch thing as a myth."
Dave, I don't give a damn how.
Go on.
I don't give a damn how bad you say your memory is. I bet you remember your first time.
Not really. I've got some memories around it, but not really. No, which is disturbing. And if I didn't have the memories around it, I probably wouldn't remember anything about it at all. Just self-explanatory.
How can you forget your first time?
Because my memory's broken. It's not like.
Oh, all right. All right, that's fine.
The worst thing is, I may in the next few days now remember. Now that you brought it up. True story, I know a guy whose name was very nearly Houdini because his dad swore the condom didn't burst, so he must have been an escape artist. Fair enough. Antje put a link in earlier. It says, "I posted a link to my favourite TED Talk. It talks about the nonsense that is virginity." And I need to say to Ox, the saran wrap thing won't work in a pinch, but a Snickers wrapper, good to go.
Oh, God.
I would think a Baby Ruth would be the choice.
Wait.
Yeah,
We definitely. Did you just read out Brain Bugs?
Brainbug says, "I remember Dave's first time. I'll recount it next time I'm on." Was it good? Did I enjoy it?
Evidently not that much.
I remember. I'll tell you what I do remember. Here's a question for you. Okay. Is your first time the first time you were successful? Because I can tell you what I don't consider my first time that was an absolute disaster.
Define
I
successful.
wouldn't.
What
I
are we
wouldn't-
aiming for?
Yeah. What is the actual?
I would say
What, orgasm?
no, nerves.
Nerve? What?
I was gonna say, yeah, define successful. What's the goal?
There was no penetration the first time.
No. There definitely was.
Then it kind of wasn't a first time, was it?
Well, this
Yeah.
is my point. It should have been a first time, but it
The
wasn't
non-starters.
successful. It was a non-starter. Yeah. Might be too drunk. I can't remember why. I think it was probably just nerves. But my actual first time, I don't remember much about. But I remember this, and this was the day before. Richard says, I was 16, she was 21, she had a rocking body. We met for about 6 hours every day for 2 weeks while I skipped out of junior high. My first time the radio was playing Sister Christian. So, yes. Has everyone answered?
I think so.
Yeah.
You think so?
What was the question?
What were weird myths you thought about sex as a kid?
Yeah, it's the one you didn't want to answer, Jenny.
I did anyway.
I thought it was. I was just checking.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.